Greetings, and welcome to another episode of Keeping Up with HAR. I am HAR, your host. Let's get right into it. So, what we're going to talk about today is the infamous Will Smith smacking, what's his name? Chris Rock. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this because your boy Stephen A. Smith, who we all love. We care for Will Smith, Stephen A. Smith, and Chris Rock. But today I'm a little upset with Stephen A. Smith and Chris Rock for a reason. And we was a little upset at Will Smith, but that was short-lived. And now I would say I'm not mad at Will Smith anymore. But we about to give the whole rundown. Greetings, what's up, guys? You're watching Keeping Up with HAR. I'm HAR, your host. Today we're talking about Will Smith, Stephen A. Smith, and Chris Rock. So jumping right into it, we all know about the infamous Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. Apparently, Chris Rock said a joke about Will Smith's wife that Chris Rock didn't. Well, Chris Rock said a joke about Will Smith's wife that Will Smith didn't take too kindly. He didn't find it funny. He was very offended, hurt on a very important night of his. Which is crazy to me, that he had to accept, I think it was like an Oscar or a Grammy on this big day of his. And I don't know if he smacked Chris Rock before or after he received this Grammy. But anyway, starting off with Will Smith. To react and respond that way due to, in my opinion, I'm going to say years of frustration. In a way, it kind of, I'm going to just come out and say it. In a way, it kind of let the black community down. Entirely me, I really don't think so, but you come across a lot of people that do think so. And I don't look at celebrities or black celebrities as representation of the black community the way that a lot of other people do. So I'm gonna just be real. Like, in all honesty, I don't really give a fuck about the slap. I don't care for the slap. I feel like that Will Smith and Chris Rock are two grown-ass men, and shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Men gonna have disputes and go to war and things of that nature. Because look at it like this. In the hood, things of that nature kind of happens every day. And if something like that happens, like when I was locked up, that happened. A dude went to another guy's dorm and he didn't even slap him. He punched him. He punched him in the mouth, busted dude's lip. Dude didn't do nothing about it. The officers came in and had to remove dude from the dorm because I guess like someone was saying that he was getting bullied or something like that. I'm not really sure. I don't remember everything in detail. But even that, I was, growing up in the hood, I seen the same thing. A nigga get, again, well, this time he got punched in the face. Someone got punched in the face. They got a black eye. They ain't do nothing about it. It was that. And then, the two of them dudes actually end up being friends. They're friends now. They're cool with it. So with that being said, if you're walking down the street and you see two guys, black men, that aren't Chris Rock and Will Smith, and that happens, like they get into a dispute, you're not going to look 2 seconds. Like, you might stop. Some people might stop and see, oh, look at these guys fighting, whatever, and then keep on going. Some people might stop, pull out their phone, record, get a good laugh at it, and keep on going. And some people might stop, oh, you ignorant N-words, keep on going. And just, that's it. It's not that big of a deal. This has happened. But because it's two celebrities, then they're making a big deal about it. To me, it's really not that big of a deal. Ish happens. Stuff happens. It's whatever to me. But because Will Smith, and in this world of cancer culture, and in this world of people thinking that celebrities speak for humanity, then I guess they gotta put their 2 cents in, and Will Smith, in a way, made the black community look bad by responding like that. I don't think he's a voice for the black community, so I don't really entirely agree with that. But in a way, to some people, he is a representation of us. And some people I talked to about this situation, they have said that Will Smith, made us look bad by responding, because the only thing they're going to say is, oh, like other races outside the black race going to say is, oh, look what these N-words do. Look how they act. And again, I don't entirely agree with that neither. On Will Smith, I don't care if he apologized or not. I'm honestly leaning more toward he shouldn't have apologized. And that's just me. That's just that. I could care less. I don't care if he apologized or not. I'ma still support Will Smith. I'ma still watch his movies. you know what I mean? Like, I grew up on Fresh Prince. I love Summertime. You know what I mean? Like, that's just that. In continuation, let's hit Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, huge fan, huge supporter. I think that Stephen A. Smith has come a long way. I'll follow him for quite a few years, just as I followed Will Smith for quite a few years. I don't think that Stephen A. Smith is a voice for the black community neither. Just because they're celebrities and they have platforms doesn't necessarily mean that they represent us. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I'll just use athletes. You got black male athletes that date white women. You could date who you want. I don't care about that. But don't make it the cameras that black people don't control, or the media that black people don't control, is going to put light on black men that date white women. Because on another topic, I do feel that there's like a control effort to go against black women, or bring black women down, or hurt black women's feelings, and make it seem like black men don't even like black women, when that's a lie. Because black men or black athletes in general that do date black women and do have black wives and black girlfriends, they don't get a lot of camera time. They only give the ones that date outside the race camera time. So if you know anything about media, like that issue is being controlled. With that being said, again, when it comes to Stephen A. Smith, huge supporter of him. He's come a long way, just like Will Smith. So I don't follow what cancel culture or the media tries to brainwash me into believing.
And this is why I wanted to have this discussion with y'all. Because I want to emphasize that right now, as we see Will Smith and Martin Lawrence on the circuit promoting this new film, once upon a time, you couldn't find a bigger fan of Will Smith than me. Martin Lawrence, you can't find a bigger fan of Martin Lawrence than me. Ladies and gentlemen, in all likelihood, I'm going to go see Bad Boys, Ride or Die. Because I'm such a huge Martin Lawrence fan. And believe it or not, I still will never stop being a Will Smith fan. I'm not surprised at all that pre-sales have seen. It wouldn't surprise me at all if it ultimately plummeted once all is said and done. And you know why I feel that way, ladies and gentlemen? Because I think that I'm speaking not for everybody, not for most, but at the very least millions of people out there when I say what I'm about to say. I'm not nearly as interested in seeing Will Smith in the movies than I am of seeing him doing an actual sit-down interview with somebody to explain why he did what he did. Now I want to emphasize this. Will Smith apologized just days after that infamous slap on March 27, 2020.
I've heard this. I heard what Stephen A. Smith said about the new Bad Boys. What is it, Bad Boys? I feel like the new Bad Boys movie should have been called Bad Boys for Life because of four Bad Boys for Life. But I think it's like what is it? Wait, is it Bad Boys Forever? I don't even know the name. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bad Boys Forever or Bad Boys Never Die or something. I gotta find that name. I feel so bad about that. But I'm going to watch the new Bad Boys movie. If I don't watch it tonight, I'm going to watch it probably tomorrow night or later on this week. But Stephen A. Smith said, well, we all seen the Stephen A. Smith video and what he said about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
I got people from all over the place coming at me. I had friends that I've known for years, letting people come on their platform and talk about me and call me everything but a child of God for 3 hours. I got colleagues that smiled in my face and went behind my back to the bosses talking shit. When you've been around in this business for 30 years like I have, you find out everything. It might be in an hour, it might be in a day, it might be in a week, it might be in a month, it might be a few months from now, it might be a year from now, but you always find out. I'm that connected. So maybe we'll talk again, maybe we won't. I got love for anybody who got love for me. For those who don't, it was nice knowing you. Let me be very clear about that. It's like that for me. It's like that. In a second, let me say this to y'all. I don't know if I'll ever get over what Will Smith did to Chris Rock. But that doesn't mean I have to. And it doesn't mean that it's a license for me to negatively impact Will Smith. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was a devastating thing. I'm not talking just for Chris Rock, who's a friend of mine. I'm talking for the black community because obviously Will Packer was the first black producer to be doing the Oscars in its history. And that was a devastating blow to him. Will Smith came out with Emancipation a year later for Apple and all of that stuff. Will Smith was sensational in that movie. So was Antoine Fuqua, the esteemed director and producer extraordinaire. One could easily argue that both of them would have won an Oscar for that, and that Will slap cost Will Smith and Antoine Fuqua an Oscar.
If you're Stephen A. Smith and you think like Stephen A. Smith and you agree with what he's saying, you got every right to, by all means. The two of y'all have every right to. Or the multiple millions of people that do feel the way that Stephen A. Smith feels, you have every right to. This is all opinionated anyways. So I don't want someone to get mad at me because I have an opinion about something. So I'm not angry, I'm not mad at anyone, but I'm just stating the facts. I don't think that I disagree with Stephen A. Smith. I don't think that Will Smith has to address the slap. But if Will Smith does have to address the slap, let's go to Chris Rock now. If Will Smith has to address the slap, then Chris Rock has to address letting two white, male, Caucasian comedians throw the N-word around in a clip that was made or captured about 5 years ago.
He's the blackest white guy I fucking know. And then all the negative things we think about black people, this fucker.
You're saying I'm a nigger.
Yes, you are the niggerest fucking white man I have ever.
Amazing. I don't think he could do that.
What?
I don't think he has those
There's
qualities.
only two.
You, I mean, no, you don't even understand.
Really?
You don't really know him. Like, I've worked with him.
No, like your bit about.
I wouldn't use it anywhere.
No, exactly. These two.
We
use
say
that
nigger on stage.
on stage.
You guys don't. That's
Yeah.
an
That's the
interesting two
difference.
teams
That's
here.
the difference between. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We say
can pair
nigger on
up in
stage. You
different
guys
ways,
don't.
but that's definitely a pairing. Who
We
says
say-
nigger on stage? We don't.
Well, you just did.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
You and me say
No,
nigger
I'm
in
not.
private.
No.
These two guys don't. I don't believe he says it in private
I've
much.
given it up just because it's played.
I don't believe it's. I don't think you've ever said it probably in your life.
No,
I don't
never.
think. No. Yeah, that's it. That's the huge difference between you and me. I think.
Well,
That's what I've said
you
it.
found the humor of it.
Yeah.
I haven't found it.
Right.
Nor do I seek it.
In this clip, you could clearly see and hear these two white male comedians and Chris Rock saying the N-word, just back and forth, kick back and chilling. I've never, that right there, if you want to talk about representation of the black community, that right there, to me, needs to be addressed more than Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. And if Will Smith has to address himself smacking Chris Rock has to also address himself laughing with two white men saying the N-word. In this video, you see Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld was the only one that did not find that funny. He told them, I don't think y'all could say that. It's not funny to me. It's offense toward the black community, which I feel that it is and was. And for you all, or for Stephen A. Smith to put a flashlight on Will Smith for smacking Chris Rock, but don't want to put a flashlight on Chris Rock for laughing with two white comedians throwing an N-word back and forth, that's just crazy to me. I don't comprehend that. I don't get that. It's weird. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like it's unfair towards Will Smith. And I feel like it's like a huge insult to the black community, because it's like Chris Rock can get away with throwing an N-word back and forth with two white dudes laughing around joking, but Will Smith can't get away with smacking Chris Rock. In a way, I look at that as karma, transformation of energy, because I felt like, because again, I am a supporter of Chris Rock, but Chris Rock slapped me in the face when I seen him laughing with them two white boys joking back and forth. So, and Jerry Seinfeld was there too. He witnessed the whole thing. I felt with Chris Rock the way I felt when I seen a video on YouTube with Cosmo Kramer from the Jerry Seinfeld show. When I tell you that I love that show, I love the Jerry Seinfeld show. That show was hilarious. I grew up watching it, and my favorite character on Jerry Seinfeld was Cosmo Kramer. Cosmo Kramer was seen on a YouTube video throwing an N-word around at a black dude that I guess supposedly or allegedly interrupted his stand-up. And Jerry Seinfeld was like, N-word, 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 N-word. And I was like, oh, no. Not Jerry Seinfeld, but Cosmo Kramer. Cosmo Kramer was like, N-word, 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 N-word. Not Jerry Seinfeld. But he used to be on the Jerry Seinfeld show. So that hurt me. Like, when I seen that, I was like, dang, man. Cosmo Kramer uses the N-word. Is he racist or something? Like, what? And you ain't heard from Cosmo Kramer in years. Like, I don't know what happened to him. But I've always asked myself that. I said, why is someone that's as funny as Cosmo Kramer, where they at? Like, what's going on? And I felt like that for years. And then I seen that video on YouTube with Cosmo Kramer talking about some N-word towards this black guy that was allegedly interrupting his stand-up show. I don't care the man was interrupting your stand-up show. You should have never, that's not how you handle that. And I was just very disappointed. I was very disappointed. So, with that being said, how I felt when I heard Cosmo Kramer saying the N-word was equivalent, but a little worse than how I felt when I seen Chris Rock laughing among two white comedians throwing the N-word back and forth. That hurt more than Cosmo Kramer. Chris Rock hurt me more than Cosmo Kramer. So, I've always for years held that against Chris Rock because I've never heard him say anything about it. I've never heard him address it. And you know what? Chris Rock has every right to say, let me tell you something, son. F you and the horse you rode in on. I'm not addressing a doggone thing. I nigga bet. You don't. But y'all need to shut up with trying to force Will Smith to address something when this man hasn't addressed that. So, Stephen A. Smith, don't be two-faced. You know what I mean? You got to play both sides of that coin, bro. If Will Smith got to address that smack, then Chris Rock got to address sitting back with two white men throwing the N-word back and forth. You know? That's real, bruh. Like, that's on everything. So, with that being said, yeah, I'm going to watch the new Bad Boys movie. And to this day, I'm still kind of upset at Chris Rock for that. So, that's all I have to say on the matter. I don't think Will Smith got to address no damn body. Will Smith, do you, bro. Like, so what? It's over with. Like, let it be. We all learn from it. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep going. You know? So that's just me how I personally feel. But with that being said, that wraps this episode of Keeping Up with HAR. I'm HAR, your host. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts about everything. And, peace, love, and unity.